Welcome, everybody, to Sunday night edition of Talking Iowa Hawkeye Sports. You can also find us on the Facebook page under the same name. We got a lot of great stories there, and we share a lot of content, a lot of pictures, and just good stuff over there. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button first, then hit the like. Comment tonight, please, as T. Hink has already got a question out there for everybody.
So I haven't heard from T. Hink for a long time.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do, rather than do what we're going to do, let's go ahead and answer a couple of these questions T. Hink throws out there, and we'll do those first. The first thing he likes to know is, do you think the men make the tournament? I want an answer from everybody. First of all, let me say, before we say everybody, you will notice that there are some people missing tonight. As we said before, Paul and Jason taking a break, and Kyle's feeling under the weather today. So Kyle is taking the night off. So, but everybody would include me and Kelvin tonight. Okay.
And we everybody usually gives their opinion on here. So
yeah. Well, Kelvin, I want you to give your opinion. I know mine's going to be a little bit different than yours, I think, and I want to hear yours as well as I know that Hink wants to.
It'd be pretty hard for him not to make the tournament, but right now they're the bracketology that On3 put out today. They're 8th seed. Net rating fell down to. Wait, the net rating. I don't know if it only dropped 1 or it went up 1 because we played Purdue. I don't know, but anyway. Hopefully we're not going to play like that, which was terrible, anymore this year. So, yeah, I would think that we're going to make the tournament, So,
all right. Well, here I have a bit of a different spot. Hink says they dropped 1 spot, just for the record.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we finished 2-6. I mean, I'm sorry. 2-4 out of the next 6 games. But even in my thinking, that's iffy because I'm going off the way we played the last couple games because we're not shooting the ball well. We don't look in sync on the offense. And so I don't see how we got to play Nebraska twice. I don't see how we can beat them at this point. We got to play Michigan. I don't see how we can beat them. What was the other team we got on there that I think
got to go up and play at Wisconsin?
At Wisconsin, that's a loss. Wisconsin's playing really good ball right now. Our 2 chances to get a win are Penn State and it's on the tip of my thing here, on top of my head. Ohio State, but they're starting to play better. And I think we go there, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not convinced. I'd say we get 1 to 2 wins, and so we probably, if we finish 10-10, that gives us 20-11. I don't know where our net's at. It's going to be dependent on our net if we make the playoffs. I mean the tournament. But if we do, we're going to be like a 10 or 12 seed, or first 4 in. If we lose if we win only 2 out of the next 6 games, because we're taking a nosedive. We play Ohio State at home, so I'll give that one to us. But this is contingent. That they've got to go back and start playing better, okay? Because not only did they play ugly in Maryland, which I think everybody agrees might be the worst loss that they ever suffered this year. I mean, Purdue was a pretty bad loss too because their offense wasn't in sync. We didn't have anybody but Sturts, and it took Sturts a while to get going that could do anything. And I don't know how you miss easy layups and open shots. That's just unforgivable. And we might as well just go ahead and talk about the Purdue game while we're talking about it. But before
you're going to get a darker forecast for Iowa after a game like that, because we're human beings, and that's what we feel is like, I thought it was just it was just kind of a downer type game, and it shades you into a darker mood as far as predicting the rest of the season, don't you think, Dean?
Well, it's definite, but they're showing
if we come out and win Tuesday, then we'll say, oh hell, we're going to be a 7th seed. So yeah.
Okay, so Hank, that's a good question on the starting lineup. Let me finish what was my one thought, and then we will bring that up to Kelvin to look at. By the way, Hank says we either go 3-3 or 0-6. No in between for him. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, but I just want to say before we lost to Maryland, we were riding a 6-game winning streak, right? I think we were. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. But most of those games we won ugly, very ugly. Somehow we found a way to win. We weren't able to overcome that against Maryland, and we just weren't as good as Purdue. I think we got false hope against Purdue. I think that's one of the reasons why we got blown out by Purdue, is because I believe that our players had false hope, the coaches had false hope, the fans had false hope, which is why that game sold out, because everybody thought we could win based on the previous game that we played with them. And that wasn't the truth. That wasn't the happening. Purdue was getting a little nasty because they went 3-3 in their previous 6 games. And, Purdue's not used to losing like that. They came out fired up. They were ready to play. They remembered how close that game was at their home floor. They weren't going to let that happen. And Purdue is bigger, faster, more talented, and more athletic, and probably has a few NBA players on their team. Okay. Alrighty. Hank says fans won't be coming back now. We'll see. Okay.
Well, the fans sure are very good fans then.
Yeah, he says it's over for the fans until next year.
Play one not very good game at home all year, and the fans won't be back now. It's like it ain't like we're Iowa wrestling,
Well, Iowa wrestling, you said the fans were in near empty stadium. I got proof that they had 11,000 people there yesterday, or the end of the day, Friday night. But I checked it out.
If you watch the TV, yeah, there's a lot of people there that bought tickets, but they didn't show up. Hell, they'd show the crowd where it's usually packed, and it would be like, there's 2 guys sitting, and there's 3 seats that are empty, and then there's 2 guys sitting, and then 2 seats that are empty. That's what the crowd was on TV, But
okay, all right. He wants you to answer this question, Kelvin. Yeah. What should we do for the starting lineup?
I'd start 5 people.
I think he wants you to give a serious answer.
I don't know. I know Tavian Banks might be a little hobbled, but him and Sturts have been our foundation stones. Combs is our second ball handler. I would think Manyow would still start. There's 4. Housen just ain't good enough on defense. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you'd give Tate Sage a start, even though he hasn't been doing much lately over Koch. I don't think that's the way Ben McCollum does it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. What do you think, Dean?
I think we ought to get Urach back on the floor. He showed yesterday. He gave a little spark, a little fire, and we made a run while he was on the floor. Damn, we could use his. I know he hasn't played much. He's probably missed a few games along the way because it's been a while since he got off the bench. But he didn't have any rust when he was out there. And Sage too. Let's bring him back too. These are a couple of freshmen who don't look like freshmen when they're out there.
I know one thing with Mast and Price Sanford. You want your best defensive players out there. Mast is a very talented, bigger guy. So
What's the over/under on Sanford's points coming up when we play Nebraska? What's the over/under?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I want you to make a guess. That's part of this
What's
show,
he
you know?
Is he averaging like 19 points a game or something? I don't know. But
All right. Well, anyhow,
I wouldn't know.
okay. You said that Hausen wasn't good enough to play defense. Hank says he is. He laughed at my comment about Urach. He probably doesn't think that he should be on the floor.
I think the reason he went to, well, I know kind of the reason Ben went to Urach yesterday, because Purdue, they just put that 7'4" guy under the basket, and he blocked like the first 2 shots that were taken inside. And after that, every Iowa guy changed their shot every time they went up. It just psychologically, they knew they couldn't shoot over that guy. So that was one of the biggest problems on the team offensively yesterday. Was that 7'4" guy under the basket, and we attacked the hoop. Well, they just leave him there. I
just don't want to know where Purdue finds these guys. Is that guy a high school kid, or was he a European pro?
They get some of these. I know some of the kids they've gotten were from Canada. Of course, Edie was from Canada, but I don't know. They just recruit tall people, and some of them tall people they get, nobody else wants them. Because they don't. That tall kid yesterday, I don't even remember his name, but he had no skills, other than dunking. I think they said at the start of the game he had 80 baskets and 69 of them were dunks. They actually said that at the start of the game, and I thought, what? But
the dunking machine.
Yeah. So.
All right, his name is Jacobson, I think.
No, I don't think so. I thought he had some funny name, Pats or something. I don't know. But.
Well, we got Trey Kaufman-Wren, but that's not him.
No.
I think it's either Cox or Jacobson. I think it's Jacobson is correct.
What was the other one you said?
Well, it's Jacobson. D. Hank just backed me up on that.
Okay.
His stat line was 2 for 4. He didn't try any threes. His free throws, he's at 50%, 2 for 4. Mm-hmm. Honestly, for a 7'4" guy, he didn't rebound. He only got 4 rebounds. I expected more than that. He drew 6 fouls, though. Total of 6 points.
Yeah, he changed a lot of shots inside. We couldn't. We shot them long. We'd have 4-foot shots and leave them short, shoot them long. It was like nobody actually, our shooting percentage inside, which is usually very, very good, was very, very bad. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Sturts only had 19 points. Cam Manuel had 8 points, which for him is a little bit more than he's done in the past. And his free throw was 2 for 3, and usually he's a little worse than that. Koch only had 3. This guy's a streaky person. He either does nothing or goes all the good. There is nothing about him that's I don't know. He might be the one I would bench in favor of. How tall is Urach? About 6'11"? Yeah, I'd bench him in favor of Urach.
6'11", but yeah.
Yeah. And then bring Fulgaris out. Fulgaris only had 5 points.
Bring him out. He don't start.
I know. I wouldn't, yeah. But I wouldn't bring him off the bench for a while. That guy's also streaky. We need some consistency.
I'd make sure Alvarez scores at least 10 or 11 points because we have never lost a game this year if he's scored double figures. So
Yeah. Well, here's this. Hink says we should play Howard over Couch. I mean, Howard was 1 for 2, 0 for 1, 0 for 1. He missed his only free throw. That was a front end of a 1-on-1. Rebound 1. He had 2 points.
There's just if you're looking at the stats from that game yesterday, pretty much all you're going to see is Manyow was okay, and Sturtz is an all Big Ten player. You know, Sturtz got trapped the whole game. You know, the only way Sturtz was going to score for the most part was with some of his great drives where he loops over and under people and shooting fall away 3-pointers. You can't shoot fall away 3-pointers all night and be effective, but he was last night. But it's like everybody else on the team, I can't think of anybody that, you know, is that good. You know,
I want to show you something, okay? Okay, I want to compare our total points. I'm not going to tell you who got what. I just want to show you how we did compared to Purdue. 8 points, 3 points, 9 points, 0. That's a starter. 0. 19, 5, 2, 2, 3, 6, and 0. All right. Their starters and the balance 12, 4, 14, 12, 5, 14, 6, 6, 5. Very well balanced team. Very well balanced.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
You know, where's our balance?
I watched the game. Purdue played really, really well. And, you know, there's parts of Iowa's game that we did not play that bad. We didn't turn the ball over. You know, the rebounding was a lot closer than what you would have expected. You know, if you were watching the game, you thought we'd get a landslide of rebounds, you know, out rebounded by a landslide, and it wasn't that bad, but
Hink wants
about normal for this Iowa team rebounding. We get out rebounded most games because we are not a big athletic team.
Yeah, you know? I know, but I mean, you know, he went out and recruited what he could to bring in, but he had to know that going through the Big Ten, especially the upper half of the division, which is about all we got left if you don't include Ohio State and Penn State, that it was going to be a rough go of it. I don't think we've beaten anybody above us in the standings yet. Nobody above us in the standings.
He said, I trying to think of any team in the Big Ten that we have a roster advantage over. We got Sturtz, you know. And Alvaro ain't a bad looking guy, but he ain't no great athlete. 6'9", it ain't like he towers over the rim when he dunks or anything. But and Ben said when he was building the team, he goes, I need a 7-footer, but there's none available that I can afford. Like, yeah, that's you know.
I think Beth needs to give him a little more money. Beth's got to come up and say, "Hey, I found you some money. Go get us a 7-footer."
Yeah, well, you got to give him some money because that's how money is given. You know, Beth gave him football money last year, and that ain't gonna happen this year. You know, you can't be doing that all the time because, you know, football's the sport.
If I had the money, I would give it to him.
Well, I would too. But you can't just say,
I would have a stipulation.
You just can't say, you know, on the public airways, Beth, I'll just give him more money.
No, here's what I'd have a stipulation on. This money has to be used for a 7+ footer, and he has to be, you know, 4 or 5-star recruit, and you need to bring him in. Give him the money. Yeah, don't let Purdue get him. Don't let somebody else get him. But if you can't do that, but if you can't get this guy, the money comes back to me.
The money that the money that Beth divvies up is the revenue share.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 21 million.
But Beth can also go out.
Football. Yeah, if you want to go out and get more money, you go say Brad better give it to him. Don't say Beth.
Well, Beth is recruiting
the revenue.
Beth is the one that's getting the people to join the flight. The flight is the one that changed
all the flight. You ought to know this. All the flight funds is replace the lack of revenue. The flight funds replace the revenue share that they're giving away. That's what flight funds do. The swarm funds are the NIL.
So it's the flight fund. That's what we were told. This is the reason why. This is the reason why the swarm switched over to elite athletes only, and not everybody like they used to, because he said that Iowa has the flight fund to take care of the others.
The flight funds are where they're. You got to realize that the athletic department isn't making. There's no athletic department that's making loads of profit. So when they earmark 21 million that the courts say you have to give to the athletes, that's taken out of the athletic budget in revenue to the athletes. The flight funds were set up to try to raise money to replace that they're given to the athletes. Okay. That's what the flight funds are.
Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. Hink says share your screen. Share your screen. Share your screen. The stats. I'm not sure what that means.
He wants you to put the stats up on the screen for some reason. We know the stats suck for everybody except Sturts.
Yeah, I don't have an ability to do that. And the last time I took the screen stats and put them up there, nobody could read them. They were really dinky. I mean, if you know how to help me do that and put that stuff up here, I'd be happy to know. I know people do it and share their screen and bring stuff up, but I don't know how to do that.
No, anybody sitting at home can look up the stats.
He wants us to get the season averages up here, but I didn't pull those up this time. I wish I could figure out how to split the screen and do it. I need somebody to help me.
Iowa on the season going into this game was shooting like 52% from the field and what was it, 76% from the free throw line, and we were shooting good even in the 3-pointers and everything, and not turning the ball over. We were one of the most efficient offenses in the country and one of the most efficient defenses in the country. That's why we were sitting in the upper third or so of the Big Ten. The last game was just bad.
The game before that was bad.
We had a good statistical game at Maryland, except we could not hit a 3-pointer. So I think we shot, what did we figure last podcast, 21% from 3.
Yep.
And we didn't make a 3-pointer the last 12 minutes of the game, and we lost a close game. So that was pretty easy to figure out. But
okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, Purdue beat us so bad that they beat us in every statistical category. They had shot 47% from the field. We shot 37%. 3-pointers, we shot 27%. They shot 40%. You're going to win a lot of games when you shoot 12 3-pointers and you do it. You make 40% of them. Well, I mean 12 of 30. Anyway. We were 6 of 22. 6 for 20 on free throws. We're at home and they're going to the free throw line more than we did. We're 11 of 17 on free throws, 64%. This is not acceptable. We cannot be going to the free throw line and only hitting 64%. Especially, how many front ends of 1-on-1s did we miss in that game? All right.
I think we hung with them as far as turnovers and steals, didn't we?
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. They had 80% on
you
free
said
throw
we got,
percent.
you said we got beat in every statistical category.
Yeah, we did. They had 36 rebounds. We had 28 turnovers. Okay. We had 6. They had 4. We both had low numbers. It's just that their number was lower. Alrighty. But they had 80% free throw percentage, which, Matt Painter, that's the thing that he and Gene Katie have always drove home, was free throw. Hit your free throws, And they do it. I don't know what they're doing to teach their guys how to hit 80% free throw shooting. But I'm going to tell you right now, Ben needs to get his boys out there after practice, and they need to start working on shooting free throws. 64%. I mean, let's try to at least get this up to 70, 75%.
Well, we shoot higher than that for the season. We just had a bad game.
Yeah. And this Jacobson only had 4 block shots if they were all his. But they only had 4 block shots, 6 steals to our 3 steals, 4 turnovers to our 6, 26 points in the paint for them, 24 points in the paint for us. They had 17 personal fouls. We had 19. So honestly, we hung with them in the paint. I'm actually surprised. But yeah, I think they said in the post-game interview too, that they started figuring out their offense a little bit too late in the game. And you notice that last 7 or 8 minutes of the game, they were playing pretty well. Yeah. They were playing pretty well. If they had started the second half that way, we might have come back and actually won the game.
I know they asked Ben about the game, and he goes, "I'm just not used to this." He says, "I can't remember the last time that I felt like this on the bench at one of our games, So
as he felt helpless,
he just felt that he was a complete fool or something. I think he said it's literally been a decade since he's felt that way coaching against anybody. So
well, guess what? It's going to happen against Michigan and probably Nebraska too.
Well, we shall show up and see. So,
like I said,
I have no hope in the Michigan game. They look like an NBA team, but anything can happen in a basketball game, I guess. But.
I suppose. They play Nebraska next, I believe, right?
At home.
At home, Tuesday night. And our women play on the road to Nebraska on Monday night. This has happened more frequently. Tomorrow morning.
Well, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock.
9 o'clock my time. 9 o'clock.
I think it's on Fox. But get up, and I think it's on Fox. It probably won't be. It'll probably be on BTN or something. But it's 11 o'clock.
It's on Fox.
Yeah, and it's at Nebraska. We already played Nebraska at home. So.
All right. Well, since we're going to talk about the women's, let's just talk about the preview now, like we were going to at the top of the show. I think we got our everything we could on Purdue out because Purdue just looks like crap. I mean, we look like crap against Purdue.
It was good to hear from T. Hink again. Hadn't heard from him for a while.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, he's welcome on this show anytime he wants to come live. He just has to tell us, "Hey, I'll come on." All righty. So Iowa owns a 26-17 advantage over Nebraska and 12 of the last 14. Iowa's offensive numbers are 79.3. They hit 48.6 field goal, 36.4 3-pointers. They average 14.7 turnovers a game. Nebraska's averaging 80.4 points a game, 48.3% field goal, 36.5 3-point and for 3-pointers, and 14.2 on turnovers. If you look at their offense, guys, we're just about dead even on paper. On paper, we're like dead even right there. All right, now defense. Dang it. Okay. 65% we hold our opponents to. 65 points a game we hold our opponents. We hold our opponents to 40% field goal shooting, 32% three-point shooting, 15.3 turnovers a game that they force, and they have a +8 rebounding margin. Nebraska holds their opponent to 67 points a game, 44% field goal shooting. Field goals, they hold their opponents to 30.7. Three-pointers, and then 18.6 turnovers a game. They have a +1 rebounding. I would say the defensive stats definitely favor the Hawkeyes in this game.
They do turn. Nebraska does turn their opponents' turnovers quite a bit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think the one thing is that we discovered, and I'll get to it. And then I'm just taking from the Hawkeye report, and a lot of this is just stuff that just talking about. Here's some of the people from Nebraska we need to look at. We already played them once this year. We're very familiar with Britt Prince. God, she's only a sophomore, but it sounds like we've been playing against her forever. She averages 17.4 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 4.2 assists, and she gets 32 minutes a game. Yeah. Leads the team in made field goals, 164, assists, 106, and steals, 39. Third in made threes, 34. Okay.
Prince can be very streaky.
Yeah, let's hope she's very bad streak against us.
Put Kylie on or something.
Yeah, Kaylin Hake, 7.6 a game, 3.9 assists. Second in the team in made threes with 37, and assists at 97. Second in steals at 33. Logan Nestle, 8.6 points a game, 2.5 assists. Leads the team in made threes with 48. So, got to get out on the line and get her guarded. Amaya Hargrove, who didn't play against us the last time, is a 6'2" sophomore. She's a forward. Averages 12 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 23 minutes a game. Leads the team in rebounds, 138. Second in made field goals, 119. Her best game was against Minnesota, 13.6 rebounds. And then the last starter this must be the one that you considered fat. Jessica Petrie, 6'2" junior, averaging 11.5, 5 rebounds a game, 22 minutes a game. Second in team in rebounds with 112. Third made field goals, 106. Fourth in made threes, 23. But she can step out, do the threes. Good for her. We don't have anybody that can in the post area, power forward or post that can step out and do a three.
What's her three? What is her percentage out there at 3?
Well, they didn't give the percentage, just that she's made 23 of them.
Okay, so about 1 a game. That
would be about 2 a game.
They've played about 20 games, Dean.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are big. By the way, these are just Big Ten stats.
2 a game would be if they only played 11 games this year.
Yeah.
Hargrove, I believe, can hit threes. She hadn't played. Yes. She'd been hurt, and so
she only missed 1 game all year, and that was against us.
Oh.
By the way, she was in percussion protocol that game. So that's who they got. They're starting with, and that's what they can do against us. I mean, we've seen these guys play before. We won last time, 86-76. Okay, here we're gonna go. Here's some of the percentages you were looking for. Hargrove is 59.7% in the paint. These are all Big Ten stats, by the way, that I gave you earlier, and so are these. She's 73% within 4.5 feet of the basket. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Dang it. Hang on. Alrighty. Her 3-point shot is really get going, hitting 19 triples at 54% in Big Ten play, including multiple triples in 6 conference games.
She shoots a 3-pointer at the highest percentage on the team. 20% higher than Prince does. So.
Yeah. Alrighty. The Huskers' interior defense has been downright dreadful, is the headline here. That might even be putting it lightly still. Since January 1st, Nebraska has a 4-8 record and are giving up an incredible 40.2 points per game in the paint, allowing opponents to shoot 71.6 from within 4 or 5 feet of the rim. And in the first meeting, Hayden and Stokey combined for 39 points on 15 of 21 shooting, 71% shooting, averaging 1.85 points per field goal attempt. They tallied 17 rebounds and 7 assists. If the Hawkeyes want to win this game comfortably, it will likely be because these two had that good game. And you said that you would like to see them get 55 points.
I'd like to see 55 points out of the interior. You know, that's Houston, Stolke, Layla, and Ava. And Ava can score 30 points against these people as long as she don't get in foul trouble.
Yes.
You know, Ava will be instant offense against these guys, and so will Hannah. You know, just stay out of foul. You guys stay on the court. You know.
Yep. Yes. Okay. They have one notable win over Illinois during that stretch, but are 0-5 against ranked teams. Lost to Wisconsin and are currently on a 4-game winning streak, having just lost to Minnesota on Thursday. Does that affect their 4-game losing streak or 5-game losing streak right now, or 4-game? And does that affect their mindset? Do they come out and over try? Do they feel like, oh, season's over or lost, we're not going to try hard? Or what's their mentality when you lose that many games?
I think most athletes keep that up. They don't like losing, but maybe it'll make them want to win more. I don't know. And they're playing at home, you know, which Iowa, whenever we play at Nebraska, it's a tough game. You know, Iowa should beat Nebraska, but most people that are predicting the game's got to be in a very close game.
Yeah, on paper it looks close.
I was thinking we'd win by 10 points or more, but looking at all the comparisons of predicted scores, it's like people's got it a much closer game than I do, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Nebraska currently is listed as a 9 seed in Charlie's Cream ESPN and his projections. Okay. In 14 Big Ten games, Nebraska's averaging 73.9 points. So their average actually comes down in defense in offense, while their defense actually goes up in Big Ten games, 77.5.
Nebraska played a pretty soft non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
They had to. They wanted to pack some wins on there. So
yeah. Iowa's offense actually also comes down a little bit. 76 points a game, but it's good for 5th place right now in the Big Ten. But their defense is allowing 69 points a game, good for 7th. By the way, the 77 points that Nebraska gives up is in 14th in the Big Ten. Yeah. And their offense is 10th in the Big Ten.
Kind of sounded like they're giving up more points per game than they're scoring. So
yeah. Okay, the Hawkeyes have made 87 threes in the Big Ten. That's good for 13th. While Nebraska has made 114 triples, good for 2nd. From a rebounding standpoint, the Huskers are averaging 20.3 defensive rebounds, which is 18th, and 8.9 offensive rebounds, which are 10th. Hawkeyes are one of the best rebounding teams in the conference, averaging 27 defensive rebounds, which is second. Okay. And 10.2 offensive rebounds per game. That's fifth. Looking at turnovers, Nebraska's averaging 15.4 for 10th, while Iowa gives it away 13.8, 6 times per game. I'm sorry. 13.8 times a game. That's good for 6. Actually, for the Hawkeye women, that's not too bad. Because they were really turnover prone last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Once again, guard Britt Prince will be the one to watch for. She leads the team in scoring and assists in Big Ten play. She averages 16.6 points in Big Ten, 4.4 assists. She's shooting almost 50% from the floor, almost 50% from 3-point range. So, we got to get out on these. It looks like they've got 2 really good 3-point shooters, and that's probably why they make so many 3-point. We got to get out there and deny them on the rim. We can't just stand back and let these guys shoot, because they'll shoot all day over our heads. Didn't somebody recently do that to us? Just shoot a ton of threes over their heads, and we lost the game.
Minnesota.
Well, yeah.
Minnesota came in. They weren't a very good 3-point shooting team, and they couldn't miss that night.
Mm-hmm.
And we got beat by 5 or something.
Yeah. Logan Nestle was the other 3-point shooter I was talking about. She leads the team in triples in Big Ten play, and she's hitting them at her 43% rate, that's pretty darn good. You're going to win a lot of games if you make those kind of threes at that rate. And
that Hargrove for the season was over 50%.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, this came from Hawkeye Report from On3. They got Warren Nolan predicts Iowa 77-70. Bart Torvik projects Iowa at 75 and Nebraska 74. Here's some comparisons here for the Hawkeyes, just so we know where we're ranked nationally. 2-point field goal percentage is 54. We rank 12th. 3-point field goal 36. We rank 21st. 3-point rate is 32%, which is 210th. Free throw rate 30%, which is 142nd. Turnover rate offensive is 20.2, 68th. Turnover rate defense is 20.9%, 268th. Offensive points per 100 possessions, 108 for Iowa, which is 22nd. Defensive points per 100 possessions is 89, which is 110th. Possessions per game, 72 per 8, which is 87. Total rebound, they're 55%, which is 22nd. And they did not, I repeat, they did not give us the stats for Nebraska on that, where they ranked on their stuff.
They'd be way lower on about everything.
Yeah, I was just shocked, yeah.
Yeah, Iowa just sounded like I was really good at rebounding. The rest of them were not, real high.
Yeah.
So.
Well, should we just kind of anything else you want to say about Nebraska, the game, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. my time?
No, just I think we'll hopefully, if people stay out of foul trouble, we'll score a lot inside. And I thought we'd win by 10 points or so, but that Torvik guy, he's a real analytical guy. He does all this analytical rankings of teams in the nation and everything. He's only got us winning by 1, so
yeah.
I just hope we win.
Yeah, me too. I don't care if it is a 1-point win, as long as it's a win. Okay.
I think our toughest game the rest of the year is the Michigan game. and I ain't too
Well, I
worried
don't think
about
there's any
this.
doubt.
So,
No doubt about that. Alrighty. I was gonna bring up the current standings, but we're gonna let that slide for tonight. I kind of wanted to see where both the men and the women currently stand now that the weekend games are over. Alrighty. Wrestling, Michigan, 1917. We were trailing this by 3 points or 4 points. Yeah, 3 points. We were trailing this by 3 points going into Iola's match. He had the last match of the night. If he had just had a decision, Iowa would have lost the match on criteria. So he needed at least a major for Iowa to win this, and he not only gets the major, but he comes through and has a tech fall, which is outstanding. Drake Ayala is starting to get it together because today Iowa wrestling won Purdue 33-6, and Ayala had another tech fall. We're starting to see the Drake Ayala we thought we were going to see all season. He's peaking at the right time. We're going into tournament play pretty soon. They've got, I believe they got a match against Michigan State yet, and Oklahoma State, or maybe it's just Oklahoma State, and then it's the Big Ten.
I think our last match is at Oklahoma State, and we'll find out. We'll find out more there than we did against Michigan. Wasn't a very good team, like 9th in the country, and Purdue. Yeah. So, and boy, the Michigan, we really didn't wrestle that good. I didn't think against Michigan, but we
did
pulled
not.
it out.
We did not. But they each won 5 matches, but we got more points, match points. So anyway, that gave Iola's tech fall gave Iowa a 19-17 win. So that was great. Like I said, I am just stoked that Iola's starting to wrestle the way I know he can. He's just putting it together right now. Maybe he was injured earlier in the year and nobody knew. At the Purdue, we win today 33-6. Iola, another tech fall. Caliendo lost his match today 7-4. He's ranked number 3, but the person he lost to was ranked number 4. And then another person who today won with a pin was Harvey Lunington. This is his second match. He won against Michigan the other night. This guy looks like he's a keeper. At 195.
He was a great wrestler out of New Jersey. I believe he's he might have been a 4-time champ in New Jersey. I think he's just whether he's a redshirt freshman or a sophomore, don't quote me there, but
all right. Okay. All right. Now, I knew that wasn't going to be very long. Let's move on to softball. Softball women now have a 7-2 record after they had a 4-0 weekend. They beat Army twice, 7-6 and 8-2. Braylon Collin was the starting pitcher. They had 4 homers in that game against Army the second time, 8-2. They beat Western Kentucky 8-6, but they were down 0-4. Then they came back. The save was Sierra Nessus, and Avery Sapp got the win. And they beat Mercer 10-2. Anyway, this is their best start since 2023. So it's not that long ago. If you guys remember right, Iowa softball was making a good run and making some noise until they lost their softball coach last year when he left in a huff and
I think that one game that they were behind in the 9th inning and a true freshman came up and hit a grand slam off the bench. I don't know if that was Mercer or somebody else, but it was the first game they won like 7-6 or something. They won.
Yeah, 7-6 against Army. Yeah, against Army.
Army.
Yeah. A girl, I don't know her first name, but Leetjin. I think that's how you say her name. She leads the team currently with 5 HRs. A girl by the name of Simon. Again, they didn't give me the first name. 4 of stolen base attempts, so she's perfect So when she steals a base, when she starts to go for a base, watch out. They play again on Friday morning and Friday afternoon against Radford and Campbell, somewhere I think in North Carolina.
Yep. They had a game that they were supposed to play, another one with Mercer, but it got canceled or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
In this tournament that they just played in, or this.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was a tournament or just a round robin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the round robin twice with the Army, so that's fine.
So I think people ought to be at least somewhat optimistic on their start and how they're doing.
Well, I would agree. Their start was really is good. It's better. I know they lost some persons. They lost the shortstop and a pitcher. I'm trying to remember.
They had 3 or 4 people that went for money transfer, and it's all about NIL anymore. Yep. And when you lose your coach, it was a coach exchange, and people are more apt to leave then. But you either have NIL money or you don't.
Yeah. However, I do want to say is that Iowa did a great job of bringing in people. They brought in a pitcher, I think, from UCLA. I could be wrong, but I'd have to go back and look. But their transfer portal gets were really good. They had a lot of transfer portals, and so I think it's starting to show a little bit.
The new coach is an ex-Hawkeye that played for Gail Blevins, but she was out west. That's where her coaching career was, and she brought some players from out west with her.
Oh, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah, Arizona or Arizona State or something like that.
I don't know.
Okay, alrighty. Baseball had their opening weekend, 2-1. They had their butts handed to them by Kansas State. Their their pitcher who took the loss, his name's Guerrero, something like that. Giroux. He was listed as one of the people to watch in the Big Ten as to watch this year. But when you go out and you're the opening day pitcher, you're not supposed to blow. You're not supposed to get beat like that. He didn't. I mean, you just can't do that.
In the first game, they used, I don't know if they used 7 pitchers or maybe more, and only one pitcher had put up good numbers out of all of them. But they were playing a good team.
Yeah.
So I think if I'm right, Kansas State was ranked.
Are they? Okay. I asked somebody.
Right
now,
like the net rankings we follow for basketball, Dean.
Yes.
Right now, the baseball team, the schedule they played down there must have been kind of tough because their net ranking is like 5th in the country.
Iowa's?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just an abnormality. They're not gonna keep that net ranking. It's just because who they played and stuff like that. So I thought that was, and their strength of schedule was very high, but it's just because teams haven't played very many games yet.
Yeah, right. It's early. So we beat Northeastern today. I got 21-13 here. I don't know how accurate that is.
That was it.
Okay, because when I turned the game off, we were ahead 15-7 or 15-6. Okay, 15-6. Yeah, that's it. And boy, these two teams had no defense today. It was all offense.
We thought Iowa was going to 10-run rule them there for several innings, and they never did. The other team kept scoring 3 runs each inning and stuff. So
yeah. I believe that Northeastern only had 1 inning where they did not score. I don't know about Iowa, but at the time I turned it off, there was only 1 inning that they did not score. But up to that point, they'd each scored in every inning. Alrighty. We also beat Air Force 4-3. And And believe it or not, it's still February, and they're going to have their home opener this weekend.
Yeah.
So they're going to play 2 home games this weekend coming up. And in February, what if it snows? What if it's too cold?
Yeah, I thought I seen that the Iowa baseball team was going to play at home just in a couple days.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see what the dates are on that.
It might have been Eastern Illinois or some team like that. But
Okay, let me double check it. Let's double check it. We would like to know. I know one thing. I'm not sure how much baseball, softball, and wrestling we'll talk because we lost most of our viewership as soon as we started the wrestling talk.
Yeah, it's like people are not. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that. I know Jason likes softball and baseball, but there's just not a lot of people that really follow it much.
Okay. Yeah. In 2 days on February 17th, the day after tomorrow, they play University of Wisconsin at Platteville at 3 p.m. Central at Dwayne Banks Field. And then Florida Atlantic comes to town on the 20th, and they play a 5:30 p.m. game they're at Florida Atlantic. Okay. So they're only coming home for 1 game.
We got real warm weather out here. It's up in the 60s. So hopefully that game we got this week at home, we'll have that warm weather, and then they can go back south.
Yeah. So. Okay. Anyway, on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, they're at Florida Atlantic. It looks like they're playing a 3-game series. And on the 24th, they come home and play Wartburg. And then they're playing Alabama in Frisco on the 27th. And on the 28th, they play Houston in Frisco, Texas, Oregon State in Frisco, Texas on March 1st before they come back home and play Loras College. Okay. You got anything else you want to share? Anything newsy? Oh,
I know you wanted to talk. Didn't you want to talk about the women's seedings or something?
Yes.
I thought you had that on your plan or something.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for reminding me.
I didn't have much. I didn't have much to talk about.
You guys can all come back now. We're going to talk about some basketball.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh. All righty. Where did I see that at? Okay. Anyhow, the women's seeding came out by the NCAA committee, playoff committee. So if the season ended today, they would be a 3 seed. We wouldn't know they would be at home for the first 2 games under those circumstances, and we don't know who those would be at this point.
If the season ended yesterday,
yeah,
that's when the seedings come out last night. Because I seen Vanderbilt was a number 1 seed, and they got beat by Georgia today, so they wouldn't be a number 1 seed anymore.
Okay. So. Well, as of last night, if the season ended last night. Iowa was the number 3 seed with Michigan State being 4, South Carolina being number 1, and Louisville being number 2. This is what I kind of pointed out in my notes today that I wanted to put this up. If Iowa were to win their first 2 games, they would have to get by I don't remember, but in order to get to the Elite Eight,
you said they'd have to beat Louisville, which that's what Caitlin did.
Yes.
And then the next game would probably have been against the behemoth South Carolina, like Caitlin did that year.
Yeah, right. But I couldn't think of who the game in the Sweet 16 would be. This is in the Elite Eight. They would have to beat Louisville to get to the Final Four, which is what Caitlin's team did.
Well,
and then in the semifinals of the Final Four, they would have to meet South Carolina in the semifinals, which Caitlin's team did, and we won both of those games in the semis.
In this case, we'd play Louisville in the Sweet 16, and then we'd play South Carolina in the Elite 8 to get to the Final Four.
Are you sure? So, did I get that wrong?
Yeah, because we're in the same region. Only one team goes out of that region.
Oh, you're right. We're in the same region.
Looking at those seedings, I think North Carolina's the big giant of a team, But the rest of them, we can beat Michigan State. We can beat Louisville,
Yeah,
but
we
we'd
beat
never
Michigan.
play.
We beat
We'd
Michigan
never
State
play.
already this year, right?
I know, but we'd never play Michigan State unless they upset South Carolina. Which,
Yeah.
if you watch South Carolina and LSU last night, boy, those are big teams.
Yeah,
But,
they would have to upset South Carolina, and then
Yeah.
Iowa would have to upset Louisville. Wouldn't that be kind of cool, though? To have
Well,
both
yeah.
teams get upsets but yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't know anything about those teams, and that's in the Fort Worth region, so
Mhm.
take for that what it's will. That's where Iowa's been projected all season.
Yeah,
in
and
that region.
they'll change. Like they had Ohio State. I think they had Ohio State as a 2 or 3 seed, and Ohio State lost today to Maryland. And Ohio State, they've won a bunch of games in a row, but they've been lucky. Their last 4 or 5 Big Ten games are tough ones.
Mm-hmm.
They've played a softer Big Ten schedule so far. That's why Ohio State's ahead of us in the Big Ten, even though I think we beat Ohio State by 20 points.
Yeah,
at home. If I remember, 91-71 or something like that.
And that's the reason why I want people not to use the excuse that because we don't have Taylor McCabe on the floor, that cost us those 3-game losing streak. No, we lost Taylor McCabe 30 seconds into a game. If it was going to affect the game, it would have been against Ohio State, the same game that she went out in 30 seconds into the game, because that's where the girls would have been affected the most. So it's not because of Taylor McCabe being out of the game. No.
Addie Deal comes in and has a game of her life, So
yeah, and Addie Deal hasn't played very well since.
Well, and we hope, that can turn on a switch. I have faith in Addie's shooting ability, but did you want to talk any more about the seedings?
No, I don't have the rest of the seedings before me. I had it. We do know that Vanderbilt had the 4th number 1 seed or the 3rd number 1 seed.
4th, because they were gonna play the 5th seed Texas. Would have been their game to go to the Final Four.
Oh, wouldn't have been. It would have been 4th seed Texas, right? 1st seed.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, because
Vanderbilt was the number 1 seed. Maybe Vanderbilt was going to play LSU. LSU might have been the 5th. They had them listed in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Vanderbilt
you're talking about yeah.
And then the 5th team. The 5th team. No, I think the fifth team was Texas.
Yeah, well, they would have been the highest.
And then the 6th team was LSU, which is, boy, them top 6 teams. I don't want to play any of them. Obviously UConn and UCLA. And then South Carolina. Those are your top 3 teams, which they're probably the 3 best teams in the country, just because we don't have Caitlin anymore.
I do like our chances. If we get a top 3, if we get a 3 seed, I don't think we can get to a 2 seed unless somehow we win out and make some noise in the tournament, because and that's another thing too, is we didn't get to talk about with the men's. When we were talking about it, the one thing that Hink wanted to know about is what we thought they might do in the Big Ten tournament, which, they probably get one and done. Actually 1 win and then a loss. 1-1 in the tournament is what I'm looking at now.
I don't know. I was getting kind of confidence that we'd finish higher in the Big Ten then I don't have that confidence now, because we've lost 2 games in a row, and yesterday was kind of a downer, but you can turn it around pretty quick too. But what was it? Oh, the one thing about the women in the NCAA tournament, the thing that worries me most is we're so young, and you guys remember Caitlin didn't do much in the NCAA tournament until she was a junior and a senior.
Well, they lost. They got upset when she was a sophomore, to Creighton
At home,
at home to Creighton
second round.
by a former Hawkeye who transferred to Creighton.
Yeah, she hit the 3-point shot, but
Mhm.
and then, she hit that 3-point shot, and then Lisa had one of her great plays drawed up. We called timeout. We got the ball down the other end and threw it into Caitlin. Caitlin whipped it to Shizano.
Yeah.
For like a 3-foot hook shot, which Cesano hits about 90% of them, and she left it short.
Yeah.
That's how we lost that game. But what I'm saying, my point was, we didn't have these great runs in the NCAA tournament when Caitlin was young, and we got a very young team. That was my point.
I understand that. This is going to be up to the seniors that were on the team when they went, because the current seniors went to those 2 Final Fours. So hopefully that experience helps them. Kylie,
one of them sitting over there on a chair with her leg up in the air now. So
yeah, apparently she had her surgery. It looks like.
Yep, she put up videos of.
Yeah, I saw it.
Going around on crutches, but I kind of have a feeling that Chit Chat, the way she plays, it won't affect her much.
No.
As far as being a young player in a tournament, but the rest of them could be affected.
Yeah, I don't think Ava will be. I think Ava will be fine.
I think Sftbll will be fine. Ava, as long as she stays out of foul trouble.
Yeah, I worry about Layla. I worry about Addie in the tournament because Addie's putting so much pressure on herself right now. You can almost see it in the games. She's just not gotten to that point where she's let the game come to her. I think she's trying to force it, and I don't know if the coaches are telling her to do that or if she's just doing it.
She's such a good shooter. I'm sure Jan's just saying, keep putting them up, because that is what she's really, really good at, is shooting.
Yes, we know that
from any place, from any place on the floor. It doesn't matter if it's an 8-footer, a 4-footer, or a 25-footer.
But also, let's remember last year, Ava came on during the Big Ten tournament, and in the games in the 1-1 we were in the tournament. Still can't believe how good Oklahoma was, and now Oklahoma's not looking so great right now. They didn't even make the top 16 seeds, did they?
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I think they should have been a top 16 team, but maybe they weren't.
I don't think they were. I don't remember seeing them.
Them things are going to change. Ohio State is not going to end up being as high as they were last night.
No, and that's what I said to Jason. I said, I understand that Stan, when he's calling these projections, well, I'm saying in NCAA's mind, they're not projections yet, but these teams, they put this out there because now these teams can play for a better seeding, or they can let their play go for a worse seeding. But yeah, I mean, I understand where he calls it projections, but I don't call these projections. I call what we do when we figure things out. I say that's projection.
Yeah, the seedings will come out every week. There's going to be upsets, and then everybody knows that. Sure, there's 8 probably pretty darn good Big Ten women's teams, but they got to play each other, and then they got a Big Ten tournament too.
Yep, that Big Ten tournament's going to be fun. I can't believe Maryland though today. They had that lead, and then they go out and do stupid things like, oh, let's just try to hit some 3-pointers, and then, of course, they 5 or 6 times, and they missed, and then they go in and commit stupid fouls, and then they turn it over because of the 5-second rule.
Yeah, it's so weird. When I was a kid, we played, there was 6-on-6 girls basketball, and all the girls on our high school team would hit like 85% of the free throws. Then as soon as we switched over to running up and down the court, all of a sudden the same girls that were shooting 80% were shooting 60%.
Got the wind knocked out of him running up and down the court.
Well, you don't shoot near as good when you're trying to catch your breath and you're tired.
Yeah.
You never got tired playing 6-on-6.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. When I graduated high school, my school was still playing 6-on-6, and they did for a few more years. They didn't switch over until Molly Tybeck's sophomore years when they switched to 5-on-5.
Yeah, it had to be the early 90s or something, probably.
No, it was in the late 80s. 87,
That's
88.
That's what I noticed, today. Ohio State and Maryland, they kept going to free throw lines for 2 shots, and half the time they'd miss both of them.
Yeah.
And that's just the difference. The difference, But
the way Ohio State was coming back, though, and I said on our group chat, it looks like Ohio State's going to get upset today or something like that, and I almost had to eat my words because they actually had a lead for a minute there.
Yeah, that Jeloni Cambridge, she's a great player. But anyway, she's about the only one that give Betts a run for the money as far as a player of the year in Big Ten. But Maryland, to start the season, was a top 3-4 team in the country.
Yes, they were.
If Maryland would have them 4 players that have been out all year, just think how good they would be. Because they just, for 90% of that game, they were kind of embarrassing Ohio State.
So those 4 players were season-ending injuries. Okay.
Yeah. Jason asked, he goes, gosh, does Maryland have their injured players back? And I just replied, nope. They are out for the season.
Well, the good thing is,
they would have been a very talented team, Dean, and very deep.
Yeah. So now we should be tied with Ohio State, record-wise.
Yeah.
Okay. And there for a while, Michigan State got off to an early good start against Michigan, but Michigan flexed its muscle and came back, and I think won that pretty easily.
That's an awfully good Michigan State team that they beat by 20 points. Michigan looked really good today. But if we beat Michigan, we'll be tied for second in the Big Ten. So
with who? Michigan.
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Michigan's only lost 2 games in the Big Ten, and we lost
played
3.
them in Iowa City, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the game that well, obviously is our toughest game that we got left, because we got a couple. Don't we play Purdue in Wisconsin or something? I don't know. We got a couple games there that ain't so difficult.
I can run down the schedule real quick.
It don't matter, but
yeah, we lost. We had a 3-game Big Ten losing streak. Do you remember who we lost to? Oh yeah. UCLA, and Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts, man. That hurts. That hurts. It
is what it is.
But you know what? It's not so bad because Minnesota is like, a lot of people are not winning against Minnesota.
Yeah. But I think we're a way better team than Minnesota.
Well, we were.
We are. Minnesota, I think if I remember right, they shot 71% from 3-point land. It was like the opposite of us at Maryland when the men played at Maryland. That game we could, and Minnesota is not that good of a 3-point shooting team, but it was just like the stars were in place for Minnesota or something. Their horoscope read perfect, and they hit 71%. It was just a 5-point. It was just a 5-point game.
Here's the remaining schedule. Mm-hmm. At Nebraska Monday, on Thursday at Purdue. On the 22nd, which would be, I got the wrong calendar. The 22nd, I don't know what day of the week that would be. I think a Monday or Sunday, probably a Sunday.
Sunday.
At home against Michigan. Oh, good Lord. It's during my church time. Stop it. Stop scheduling games during church time.
You could always become an atheist.
And on the 26th, Illinois comes to town. I'm really looking forward to that game. I really want to see that one. And then, of course, our final regular season of the game is on March 1st at Wisconsin. The ladies, I'm going to tell you right now, the way things are in the Big Ten, they might only win one more game. I'm not saying they will, but they could.
I think they might only lose one more game.
Yeah, I see. That's the way you and I think. Differently. I'm looking at the negative side.
Wisconsin's going to be an easy win.
You think so? Really?
Yeah. You said Nebraska. You said Nebraska, Wisconsin, Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Purdue.
Do we play Purdue?
Yep. And Illinois.
Yeah, Purdue's won like 2 games all year.
Yeah, I know. I'm not worried about Purdue.
And
I am worried about Wisconsin. I consider a 50-50 game. Illinois a 50-50 game.
I think the Illinois women who had a couple of injuries at the start of the year. That coach down there at Illinois is a good coach, but every year one of her best players gets injured before the season starts, an ACL, and can't play. But anyway, I think her team has played really good. But I think they're like Ben's team; they're wore out.
Yeah,
because they haven't been winning games lately. So
okay. Well, anyway, we should be able to beat Nebraska. I hope we do. We should be able to beat Purdue. I'm not giving us any hope against Michigan, but you never know. Maybe if Caitlin comes to town for that game and everybody knows about it, and we get a sellout crowd, and yeah, bring back while she's coming back. Bring back Gabby. Bring Gabby because Gabby's living in Indianapolis now. Bring Gabby with her, and if Kate Martin isn't still playing Unrivaled League, bring her too.
I kind of think Caitlin's probably going to be busy practicing with that national team. So.
I don't think the national team starts playing until July.
Don't they play the 11th?
Oh, you're right.
The 11th of March.
You're right. Yeah,
that play-in tournament.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
I hope that's on TV that we can watch. So
yeah. Did you watch any of the Unrivaled? I have not.
No. And then they had some big world championship one-on-one tournament this weekend.
Yeah,
I laugh like hell because Paige Becker got her butt kicked.
By who? So, it wasn't by Kate Martin because she kicked.
It was
Kate Martin's butt.
Yeah, it was Kate Martin's just a good player, She ain't a superstar. But that Gray, I think her name's Gray, the great point guard. That's a veteran. She won the tournament.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep. She beat Kelsey Plum to win it. But she beat Paige Becker's like 11-2 or 12-2.
It's 12. It's the first one to 12, I think.
Okay, 12-2 or something. And Paige she's spoiled. She's just spoiled, She was pissed off. So anyway.
All right, this is a good place to leave it. People, thank you for
Can
watching.
I ask you one question, Dean?
Okay. You always do that when I get ready to sign out.
One question.
What's the one question?
Paige Becker, she was double teamed all the time and beat up like Caitlin. Do you think she'd put up anywhere near her stats?
No.
No. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Now we can go to sleep.
All righty, guys. Guys, I thank you for everybody for watching. I know I scared a lot of people away when we did wrestling, softball, and baseball. I apologize for that. Next time I'll find another way to sneak them in without you guys chasing you off. Because I feel like we were talking to ourselves for the last half hour.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like talking about men's basketball too much because that was a down day. But
yeah. But anyway, but we had to talk about it. Okay. So anyway, like I said before when we started the show, if you made it this far, thank you. And tell me in the comments that you made it to the end. That would be great. That would be fantastic. Play this in your car. But of course, if you listen to it, you already listened to it. So I don't know why I'm telling you to it. But anyway, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave some comments. A lot of people leave comments. And I always go back after the show. And after the show's gotten a few viewers, I leave some comments. Other than that, I just want to say, go Hawks, have a good night, and go Women Hawks tomorrow. Out.